Hey guys, I'm Rob Duff, co-founder and creator of Duff Digital Marketing. I wanted to create a few short tutorial videos for you guys to really be able to peel back that layer of uncertainty and really understand what you're looking at when we send you your monthly analytical and growth data every 30 days or so. So some of the things that we're going to be discussing and analyzing are your heat maps. We're going to be discussing your Google Business Profile or GBP Analytics. We're going to be running over your ARIS report, which is a third-party system that gives you incredibly accurate data for how you rank organically on Google. We're going to be going over Linkforce, which is the social media program some of you may have and some of you may not, depending on what tier structure you're in, but also what we've agreed on as when it comes to your social media. We're also going to be going over ads in general, whether it be Facebook, Google ads, so on and so forth. And last but not least, we're absolutely going to dive super deep into Google Guarantee so you guys can thoroughly understand specifically what it is exactly, what you're looking at, and also where every dollar you spend goes to. I cannot even begin to explain to you guys how hungry we are to absolutely make this thing really pop off for you. And let's go ahead and get this thing started. Heat maps as a business owner are absolutely imperative to understand so that way not only you can track exactly where you are in your demographical area when it pertains to your ranking on Google, but also so you can thoroughly understand the design and structure of how this works. If you don't thoroughly and truthfully understand how all this works, you may begin to either, number one, harbor unrealistic expectations. And number two, it's also important to note, sometimes it just takes a little bit longer. Like for instance, if you have a brand new Google Business Profile, or maybe you have a Google Business Profile with virtually no reviews, or you have a lot of bad reviews on your Google Business Profile. Not here to judge, just want to make sure we're extremely transparent with how these systems work. So let's go ahead and dive into heat maps. The first thing I want you guys to see when you're looking at your heat maps, is look in the upper left-hand corner, okay? You're gonna notice the keyword. So number one, it's important to understand that we'll be ranking you for dozens and eventually hundreds of heavy-hitting, high-volume keywords over time, but we're gonna specifically really dial in that ranking for at least 6 to 12 heavy-hitting keywords within the first few months. Because generally what happens is once we actually rank you for some really heavy hitting keywords, a very unique and interesting thing begins to happen. Google will actually start ranking you for other keywords and long tail keywords, short tail keywords that we weren't even intentionally ranking you for to begin with. It's one of the hacks that we use and tricks that we use over here at Duff Digital Marketing to really help your business scale as fast as humanly possible and brand your empire online. So that's the first thing I want you guys to take a peek at. The keyword. That'll let you know what type of keyword or what keyword you guys are ranking for in any general area. The second thing I want you guys to look at is the grid, which is right beside the keyword itself. We use a 15 by 15 grid, which means vertically 15 dots, horizontally 15 dots. Each of those dots represent a small area on that grid, and think of yourself as being smack dab in the middle of that heat map. The next thing I want you guys to pay attention to is the mileage ranking, and that's going to be in the upper right-hand corner. Now, the first month or two that you're with us, you may only have a half a mile to a mile radius. That's okay. 99.9% of businesses are actually in that actual grid. The reason why is there's been no power, no backlinks, no citations, nothing to actually get them to that 10, 15, 20 mile radius. The important thing is, as we progress month to month through your SEO campaigns, you will begin to get a larger and larger heat map ranking for each and individual keyword. That, guys, is exactly how you end up with hundreds of thousands of impressions or tens of thousands of impressions, which means people seeing you guys that are actually looking for your services in your particular demographic area. And again, it depends on how many people are in your areas or your dedicated business areas that you actually service, your service areas, that will determine how many people you are getting in front of. So that's really important to understand that. Next up, take a look at the little dots, okay? This is a really cool situation. So I love it. So the first thing that I want you guys to understand is, and a lot of times in the very beginning, we'll send you a screenshot of before, which is what you guys looked like heat maps wise before we came on board and started pushing power. 99% of the time, guys, you're going to have all red dots across the board. Once we turn on that power, though, and once we really start pushing the SEO that your business will most certainly definitely need, that's when you start to see the orange, then the yellow, then the green dots, okay? Those numbers represent the position that your business is on Google. I'm gonna say that one more time. The number in the middle of those little dots, hopefully they're green, is the number, right, that represents the spot that you're on the Google Map Pack. So let's give an example here. If you were standing, let's use the grid for a second. If you were standing 5 down, 5 across, right, on the grid that you're looking at, you can use any grid for this example. 5 down, 5 across from the upper right-hand corner, okay? What number is that? From what I'm looking at, it's a 3, right? So if you were standing right there in that location and you had your cell phone, you pull it out and you type in the keyword that's in the upper left-hand corner of that screenshot that you're looking at from your heat maps, you will show up number 3 on your phone if you are standing in that location. Pretty cool, right? That is specifically how Google Maps, or excuse me, heat maps work for your Google business profile listing. If you do have any other more thorough, more, I would say in-depth questions that you would like to ask, feel free to reach out to us, give us a shout. But it's really important that we're as transparent as humanly possible to make sure you guys understand exactly what's going on. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into your Google Business Profile Analytics. Understanding your Google Business Profile Analytics as a business owner is going to be one of the most profound things that you can do, especially if you're a fairly new business and even an existing business. So I'm going to go over an example here that I have to my right, and you may follow along with me with your analytics if you'd like, your real-time analytics, which again should be attached in this email. And I believe we also have an example, which is going to be a screenshot example right before your real-time analytics, so that way you can actually follow along with me on that if you don't want to use your real-time analytics. Totally up to you. So 4 main ingredients that I want you to truly pay attention to. It's going to be your profile interactions, it's going to be your calls, it's going to be your direction requests, and then last but not least, it's going to be your website clicks. The example I'm looking at, which is actually a fairly large client of ours, they've been with us for about 14 months. They're in Burlington, North Carolina. It shows 106.9% up from this time last year. What does that mean? Well, if you'll look at that screenshot or your screenshot that you're looking at now, you'll see the month of July 2022, or whatever month that you'll see. It's going to be the month that you're actually looking at. So this is an example video. So mine says July, yours might say August, September, October, so on and so forth. So it's going to compare, right, and give you the analytical difference of growth that you've seen from this month, this year, compared to the same month from the previous year. Does that make sense? If not, feel free to reach out to me and I'm happy to dive in a little bit deeper. So this person, this business owner is up 106.9%. That is pretty impressive, guys. Pretty impressive indeed. So if you go to his calls, he's up 159.3%. He's got 70 calls over the past 30 days. And if I'm not mistaken, I remember this client very particularly because he was very, very skeptical in his first 3 or 4 months. It took him a while to actually launch off. It took him, I think, close to 4 or 5 months to really start, seeing that window turn, that wheel turn a little bit, which, by the way, does happen quite often, guys. It depends on how much competition you have, and it really, really depends on what type of power is being pushed. If you'd like to push more power, by the way, or have additional ads running, definitely reach out to us. We can certainly have that conversation to help you out even further. But again, I'm looking here at his calls here. So 70 phone calls, again, up 159.3% compared to same month last year, right? So again, I remember this particular client. I think he was getting like 5 or 10 phone calls a month before we came on board. And now he's getting on average anywhere between 40 and 80. And it's strange, actually. It's a strange market. So like I remember this past December, he was getting like almost 100 calls a month on his Google business profile alone. And then in January, that dropped to like 25. It was the weirdest thing ever. But then, it stayed that way for a couple months, and he was like really worried. He was calling us, Rob, what's going on? What's going on? So again, Google is always, always updating their security features. They're also always moving things around. So a lot of things can change in the industry, but as long as you hold firm to your campaign, trust the process, one thing I can always guarantee you is that things will work out in the long term. I assure you. So if you have a few slow or bad months, make no mistake, there's going to be a few really, really good months to come. It's going to just wipe out those bad months tenfold. So if you have any questions on how that analytical data works, and you're going to use that same concept on the other ones as well, right? Like direction requests and website clicks. Now, of course, this data is going to be more important depending on what type of business you're in, right? If you are an e-commerce business, you may not even have a Google business profile. If you actually have a solid brick and mortar, location, right? Or if you have like a store where you're actually selling stuff out of the store, of course, direction requests are going to be super important, right? That's going to let more and more people come to your store. Profile and action interactions are going to be important across the board. Calls are going to be super important across the board, especially for home service clients. And then website clicks are also very important, right? And again, this is just on the Google business profile, guys. This has nothing to do with your organic Google ranking, which we do for you as well, which I'm going to be going over here momentarily in the Ahrefs video tutorial that I'll be making. So if you have any additional questions, give us a shout. Guys, let's get it going. Your Ahrefs ranking is going to show you as a business owner exactly where you stand with Google organically. So it's really important to note here, guys, and understand what is your organic ranking versus your Google business profile ranking. So let's say you Google something real fast, all right? At the very, very top of whatever you're searching, let's just say roofers near me as the keyword that you typed in. The very, very, very top, you're going to have the Google Guarantee section. That's super important. We'll make a video on that here momentarily, a tutorial that you'll see momentarily. Below that, you're going to have standardized Google ads on average. Sometimes that can, be a little bit lower, depends on, the niche, the area, things of that nature. Below that, you're going to have your Google Business Profile section, right? And then below that, you're going to have the organic section of Google. That's where you're going to have page 1 through page 10. And oddly enough, on the Google Business Profile, now there's multiple pages as well, because everyone nowadays has a Google Business Profile for the most part if you're a professional established business, and even a lot of businesses that are not licensed, insured, super professional, honestly, and unfortunately have those Google Business Profiles as well. And a lot of times you have to compete with folks like that as a professional business. But that's okay. That's why we have Google Guarantee. That's why we have ads. That's why you're running search engine optimization campaigns, not just for your Google Map Pack, but also the organic section as well. And without going on and on and on too much further into that, let's dive into Ahrefs. So if you're looking at your Ahrefs screenshot, the first thing I want you guys to take a look at is your Ahrefs ranking. So what does that mean? Well, as of now, there's a little over 1 billion websites live, okay? Only in the world. Half of those are, legitimate, right? People are actually using them for businesses or some type of online venture or affiliation of some type, okay? So if you are ranked 10 millionth, right? Hell, even 20 millionth. That's really not that bad, right? So you're in like the 10th to 20 millionth ranking online out of 500 million websites. So to give you an example of, what we want to see as a goal, any of our clients that, we can eventually get under 4 million, which usually takes about a year or so, we feel like we're doing a really good job, okay? So if you're in like the top 0.02, 0.03% of all websites online, we think that, that is going to honestly not only give you give Google a direct understanding and trust of what your website is and the authority it brings in your niche. But on top of that, guys, it's going to make Google rank you faster, without question. The better your Ahrefs ranking is, the faster you're going to rank, okay? You need to understand that organically. Okay, our major goal for most clients, and this does take some time, people that are doing well over 1 to 10 million a year, you need, our main goal for you is going to be under 1 million, right? So it's important to note that like most bigger corporations, huge companies, things like that, on average, big e-commerce brands, they're going to be under that million marker. Okay. But we like to get a lot of our clients, or we have already, gotten quite a few of our clients under that million marker. It does take some time though, especially if you're either starting from zero or, maybe you have a great old, awesome age domain and Google Business Profile, but it's been some time, you've never really pushed any serious power to it. It takes time, guys. This is what SEO campaigns are for. This is what you are paying for. All right. So with that being said, that's what the Ahrefs ranking means. If you look directly to your right across from that, you're looking at the URDR score. Without getting too technical, that's basically Google's trust score for your business. You want to see this number going up slightly every single month, month after month. Looking to your right after that, you're going to see backlinks and referring domains. I'm not going to go too far into referring domains, as I don't really think it pertains too much to this particular tutorial. But backlinks, which I was going to make a separate tutorial on that, but I'm just going to go ahead and kind of dive in here on it. Backlinks is a generalized term that gets thrown around all the time, but people have no idea what they really are. So, long story short, backlinks are a plethora of things. They could be interlinked blogs, right? They could be press releases. They could be Web 2.0s. They could be Google verified private blog network articles. They could be affiliation links. The list goes on, guys. I mean, could be a couple dozen different things, right? Including even guest posts, which, by the way, we just started a huge campaign on guest posts. And if you're watching this video, that means we're doing guest posts for you already. So, and you'll also be able to see that data as well in your email that will be attached and linked to this email that you've seen, that you're seeing this tutorial on. So that's really the long short, the short long of what backlinks are. And if you do have any further questions on backlinks, or you'd like to dig a little deeper, you're very interested in it, you really just want to peel those layers back, pull the curtains back, whatever you want to say, I'm happy to hop on a Zoom with you, or we can get our lead engineer involved, and he's also happy to help as well. Next up, I want you guys to take a look at organic keywords and, most importantly, organic traffic. All right. So one thing I really, really want to hone in on here, guys, is if you're getting 100 to 200 keywords ranked every single month organically, that traffic analytic is also going to follow suit, like 99% of the time. So if you're getting ranked, again, if we're ranking you for 100 to 200 keywords organically every single month, and you're getting, like, let's say 40 to 80 in traffic or more, guys, this means that Google is not only seeing your site as authoritative, but it's truly trusting your site and the process. This is an extremely important thing that you absolutely need to pay attention to. Also, if you've ever used a third-party source, and I'm sure they probably most agencies don't like giving Ahrefs reports because, I hate to say it, their Ahrefs report sucks. They might get 10 or 15 keywords a month, and maybe you'll get like 15 or 20 keywords and 15 or 20 traffic, no, you're never going to get anywhere that way, right? So you need to have at least 100 to 200 keywords on average, depending again on your competition and the area that you're in. But then again, traffic, that traffic needs to continue to boost up month after month after month. So, I can show you guys some examples if you'd like. And I believe there's going to be an example in the analytical email that you'll receive in that separate attachment in the same email here. But long story short, guys, again, once you get those organic keywords and traffic up to well over 1,000, which, can take quite a few months. But once that happens, guys, make no mistake, your business is going to see a big boom, right? Or at least you'll, without question, see a noticeable difference. So again, if you have any further questions on anything Ahrefs related, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Linkforce. So Linkforce is our social media program that's basically a collective of multiple different social media platforms. YouTube, TikTok, Quora, Instagram, sometimes we use Twitter. We literally create, if you don't already have them, we create you a business profile, and we have our in-house graphics team create you custom banners, custom profile pics, so it's extremely professional. And then we post on every single one of those channels for you, or every single one of those social media platforms for you multiple times a month, usually around 2 to 3 times, not a lot. Now your Facebook, we're going to be posting at least 3 to 4 times a week. And in many times we'll actually regurgitate that information across most of your social media platforms, except for YouTube and TikTok, where if you can, generally speaking, you really, as a client, need to be getting us custom videos. It can be raw data. We have an in-house graphics team. They'll make some really great stuff for you guys. Most of you already know that because you've probably used us for some of that stuff. But, guys, we really have to have that, right? We can't create the content for you. We can make it look good for you. We can post it for you, but you have to send us that raw data first. So pictures, videography, things of that nature, we'll put it together and make it look great. And the more you give us, the more we can post. So make sure you keep that in mind. But, at the end of the day, your Facebook, we're going to be posting multiple times a week for you. It's on a dedicated schedule. And, we also have a content writer, a social media content writer that's incredible that does all that for us. So that way, your Facebook can be as optimized as humanly possible. And it's also important to note, guys, the main reason Linkforce even exists is not necessarily to get you viral. Can we get you viral? Sure. But make no mistake, getting viral, guys, organically is virtually impossible these days. Everyone in America wants to be viral, right? For the most part. So the only way to really get viral these days is, number one, you do have to have decent content, interesting, funny, unique content, right? But more importantly, you're going to have to spend a lot in ad spend, thousands in ad spend. So keep that in mind. But that's not why Linkforce exists. Linkforce exists, guys, for PowerPoints. Because we're posting on all of these social media platforms for you, and because they're interlinked to your website's interlinked to your Google Business Profile, it acts as a filter. Google sees that we are posting, or someone's posting on your behalf. Your team basically is posting on your behalf multiple times a month. So it's constant, it's relative, right? Which in turn acts as backlinks and citations, which push power to your website, again, which in turn pushes power to your Google Business Profile. So that's really, really important, guys, to thoroughly understand why Linkforce exists and why it genuinely does actually help your company, even though in many cases, like 6 months down the road, 8 months down the road, you might only have 20 posts and 50 subscribers. That's okay. That's not the reason why we're doing it, right? We are mainly, now that's Facebook for you. Facebook, yeah, you want to get more and more likes, more and more followers. Same with Instagram in a lot of cases. But generally speaking, again, Linkforce is used as a power pusher more than a viral feed. So I hope that makes sense. If you do have any other questions or want to get a little deeper into Linkforce, feel free to reach out to us. But let's go ahead and I guess I will meet you in the Google Guarantee video coming up. Google Guarantee is a relatively new service that Google offers. It's absolutely imperative to understand that Google Guarantee is completely separate from standardized Google Ads, okay? They've been running this now for well over a year, and guys, I gotta tell you, in most cases, especially for home services, it can be a real game changer for your business. Especially if you're like a newer client and you don't have 6 to 8 months or longer to wait around for your SEO campaigns to truly kick off and drive really heavy power to your website and to your Google Business Profile. Google Guarantee, along with regular ads in general, can absolutely be that game changer for you. So the difference between regular Google ads and Google Guarantee is, number one, you only have to pay per lead, right? Don't worry, it's nothing like Angie's List or any of those things where you're going to have to compete. Nothing like that. You pay for the lead, right? And let's say you get a call that's not great, right? Somebody's looking for a job, someone's trying to sell you something. All you have to do is text us or give us a quick ring and say, hey guys, just got a bogus call, please dispute it. We'll do that for you on your behalf. And guess what? You don't pay for that lead. It's really that simple. Furthermore, because we'll be running your Google Guarantee dashboard, if in general you are actually if we're running Google Guarantee for you, which is a service that we provide, by the way, at no additional charge for any tier 1, 2, or 3 client with us, which is great, right? All you have to do is pay for the ad spend. But again, guys, it's really, really important to understand that you're only paying per lead. And also, since we'll be running your dashboard for you, we get to listen to every single one of those calls to make sure that you are getting the best bang for your buck, number one. Number two, sometimes we have to call Google Guarantee because, yeah, they are their own separate service. It's, not like standard Google where you cannot call them. They rarely answer your emails, right? They actually do have a call center, and they are generally pretty professional, which is great. So we do that for you. You don't have to deal with any of that. So Google Guarantee it's also, very important to note that Google Guarantee has its own ranking factors, right? If your Google business profile doesn't have, a lot of reviews, like if you have less than 10 reviews, right? Or even really less than 30 in a lot of cases, if your Google business profile is not updated properly, if it's not optimized, if you're not, running pictures with hidden keywords multiple times, a month, all of those are contributing factors as to how well your Google guarantee is going to perform. Okay, this is why we run and optimize and regulate your Google business profile in tandem with your Google guarantee. All right, so when we started with Google guarantee a little over a year ago, it's kind of interesting. No one was really doing it. Now more and more people are doing it. It's a lot like Google business profile, right? Like a Google business profile. So Google guarantee has its own ranking systems and structures now. So and it runs very close and tight again with your Google business profile. Now, the good news is because of all the power we're pushing to, through your website, which filters into your Google business profile, in general, that will dramatically help your Google guarantee. But, in some cases, like we have a client that's actually pretty close to us in Burlington, North Carolina, he's a general contractor. There's about 30 to 40 people running Google guarantee within a 70 to 80 mile radius of him. So that is a lot of people. Now, luckily, he's been with us for about 14 months, and it did take us some time to rank his Google guarantee, but now he's ranked, number 1 through number 4th position for at least about 30 or 40 keywords, which in turn is getting him quite a few calls, generally about 30 to 40 calls per month on average. Now, keep in mind, that has nothing to do with his Google business profile. That has nothing to do with him getting leads organically. That has nothing to do with ads, strictly Google guarantee. So if you have any questions on your Google guarantee or you want a more in-depth analysis, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to hop on a Zoom and we'll get it squared away for you guys. All right, with that being said, we only have one more tutorial video. That's going to be your Facebook and or Google ads. We'll see you in that one. Facebook and Google ads can absolutely be a game changer for many, many different businesses all across the United States. In many cases, we don't just run search engine optimization campaigns for a client, especially if that particular client really, really needs super fast results. Now, it used to be even a year ago, we could get incredible search engine optimization results within a matter of 2 to 3 months, sometimes sooner, as soon as 45 days or so. But it's becoming more and more of the norm that it takes upwards of 4 to 6 months on average, even as a tier 2 level client, in order to be able to get those results that you genuinely want for ranking, branding, and lead generation. So what do you do while you wait? Well, you can do a multitude of things. The main thing that we've been doing that's really genuinely been able to help clients out is, of course, Google Guarantee. Why has that been such a big help? Well, number one, we run it at no cost to the client, no matter if they're tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, okay? Furthermore, if a client does not see or have really solid expectations, or we've not met those expectations over an extended period of time, we'll actually pay for the Google Guarantee ourselves. That's right, you heard correct. So again, getting back to ads on Facebook and Google ads, standard ads. So it's important to note with these type of ads, there's multiple different ways to set them up. On average, a good ad needs to have 3 main components, right? The offer, the graphics or the style of the ad, and then last but not least, what type of conversion that ad is going to be able to get, or the micro testing phase of those ads, okay? The ad copy is extremely important in that, so are the graphics that are designed around the ad. Now, it's important to note too, you're not going to get the same, you can't do the same thing for Facebook that you can for generalized Google ads. Now, that being said, what you can do is what we generally do, right? That's create a lead magnet, right? That's super duper important. Create a capture page, create a CRM system that's going to funnel people from that lead magnet into your CRM system, which in turn will eventually right now it'll go to your client email or your CRM system. But once we roll out our app, our DDM app, our app that's about to be released here in the next month or two, and if you're watching this video, it may already be rolled out. This video was, DDM app rollout. So once that comes out, it's going to be seamless for clients to see where every single one of their leads come into their CRM system. They'll have full access, full control of every little thing with every one of their online affiliations in one easy to use app, one easy to use spot. Their CRM systems, their social media systems, their Google, everything will be in one spot. And then furthermore, guys, again, this ties back into ads, Facebook ads, and Google ads, right? You'll be able to, at a click of a button, respond to a client. And if you can't, let's say you're out in the field or you're just busy doing something else as a business owner, you can have automated setups through SMS texting and, of course, email automation. Again, we set up all this for you guys, and you, at no additional cost, get to reap these benefits as a Duff Digital Marketing client. So, if you have any additional, questions with Facebook ads or Google ads, definitely give us a shout, and I'm happy to do a more in-depth analysis with you face-to-face or, in person if we're local. But guys, again, I really cannot stress to you guys how important Facebook and standardized Google ads may be to your business, especially if you're a home service client. All right. So appreciate your time. I hope these tutorials have helped. We'll talk to you soon.